When you have this kind of knowledge, it's very empowering. And because I've had such a drastic improvement these past 6 weeks, I don't ever think of myself as a sick person. Even at the height of my not feeling well, I would get up and get dressed and do my hair and makeup, and I would pray to the Lord that I could work enough that day so that I could earn enough money to cover my needs, because I was single at the time. And to not have to worry about your health, or to know that there are solutions and that you have the possibility to heal, is very empowering. Fibromyalgia is great. And then from the Hashimotos, I would get joint aches and pains, and I've had none of that. Yesterday, because I had major surgery 10 years ago, major. And, I just a quick refresher for you, but it was double mastectomy with reconstruction. They operated on me for 15 hours. While in recovery, a major artery collapsed, and then 5 more hours of surgery. I was in ICU for 28 days. Then when I went home, I developed blood clots, pneumonia, and a collapsed lung, then was back in the hospital, and they removed all of the reconstruction. So from there, which was 10 years ago, and doing all that with autoimmune condition, it's just been a journey to find balance and wellness. So, and I've done a lot of programs. The other thing that was closest to you is in Austin. It's called the Optimal Health Institute. And that was a 3-week program. That's the only thing that has come close, but it doesn't compare at all to what your program is. Just, I left there feeling good, but I only felt good for a short period of time. There was nothing about how to move forward. So I'm excited about that. And my husband's commented to me daily, because I said, well, how do I seem different to you? And my anxiety was always through the roof. It was something I dealt with daily, and I really haven't thought about it at all in the past month. I used to take alprazolam, which is the generic for Xanax. I would always take half of a tablet, and the smallest amount, but to have to take anything at all wasn't something I wanted to do. And I could even be in a calm state and still find myself anxious. So that's improved greatly. I even had, before your class, I had developed irritability, which things would just agitate me. And that to me is even like more aggressive than what anxiety is. So that's gone as well. I had insomnia, and I work very long days. Sometimes I'll work 12 and 14 hours. It depends on what's going on with my clients. So, because I do interior design, and, I can get home at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And then after I eat, and I'll lay down with my husband on the couch to watch a program. And I'm usually just fast asleep in no time. And he tells me I snore a lot too. So he knows I'm in a really deep sleep. But one thing I've noticed off and on is, like, I woke up the other night and I felt so rested, like, I'd had a full night's sleep. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. And I do that quite a bit. This morning I woke up at 3 and I felt real rested, and I did use the restroom, and then I checked the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go back to sleep. But I find it curious that I'll wake up after a couple of hours feeling so rested. So that to me has been interesting.
You mentioned that you had headaches, sinuses, hot flashes, bloating, brain fog, and maybe SIBO, leaky gut. Have you noticed any symptoms with headaches or?
I since I've been on the program, I have gotten headaches twice. And they're pretty severe. I don't know if they're migraines or not, but when I used to get them, they would last 2 and 3 days. And they just started about 2 years ago. And I would almost be guaranteed to have one a week. I think I've had 2 since I've been on the program, and they were still severe. Fortunately, they lasted about a day, which is better than 3 days, but I would love to not get them at all. And I had put that in my one of my daily reports, and the response was to drink more water, which I did.
And also your blood work, I would like whenever you have time, you can repeat your blood work end of the year. You can repeat it anytime that works for you, because your cholesterol was high, your thyroid antibodies were high, and your LDL was high. So all of this, and your ANA was positive from August 2022, as well as I would like to see your just complete blood work and your cholesterol, your lipid panel, repeat lipid panel. You can ask full blood work. It will include everything. Or you could just repeat the lipid panel, because that's what was high for you, your cholesterol numbers, and your thyroid panel, because your TSH was also high, and your ANA was positive, which indicates autoimmune disease. So that's why it would be great to see updated blood work. You can do it anytime that works for you and email us, so I can compare before and after,
right,
and give you feedback on that.
Right. I had talked to my doctor before I started the program, and I told him the blood work that I had just done was going to be the benchmark for starting the program. And he said that it's most common with the insurance companies that they'll let you retest every 6 months. So that was going to be my plan. When you have this kind of knowledge, it's very empowering. And because I've had such a drastic improvement these past 6 weeks, I don't ever think of myself as a sick person. Even at the height of my not feeling well, I would get up and get dressed and do my hair and makeup, and I would pray to the Lord that I could work enough that day so that I could earn enough money to cover my needs, because I was single at the time. And to not have to worry about your health, or to know that there are solutions and that you have the possibility to heal, is very empowering. And so I see my husband's daughter, and she wants to have more children, but she's afraid of this genetic condition. And she also weighs so much right now that the doctor has told her it's not healthy to have another baby at this stage in your life. But she's a perfect example of somebody who needs to hear this kind of information, because nobody puts a gun to my head or to her head to say, what you can eat. I went out to dinner last night. I met friends at the country club who were having cocktails and chili con queso. And I said, well, when you get sick and medicine fails you, you'll go to any lengths to get well. And I told my husband, I've told him jokingly for years, I said, I would drink bleach if somebody assured me that it would make me feel better. So the way that you all present, and the knowledge, it's very easy. And it's a no-brainer that if somebody, and what I listened to, and actually what I downloaded yesterday, was the talk that you gave about the things that we do to sabotage our success. And my gosh, that is just so, everybody sabotages themselves, And when you can weigh on the scale what the difference is of like the person I am now versus the person I was 6 weeks ago, is just night and day. And my husband says, there's more of a glimmer in my eyes. He said, I'm not easily frustrated the way I used to be. So I don't know. It's just a matter of choice. But even if somebody chooses to do your program, if they don't do the homework, then they can't expect results. So you provide the tools in a very easy to understand and a very logical platform. So all we have to do is implement that. Because when I got so sick and doctors kept giving me more medicine, I said, there's something wrong when the side effects of the medication are worse than the disease that it's treating. And I said, I feel worse on this medicine than I felt before I started it. And that's what I told my friend just the other day. I said, you're on 12 medications. How do you even know what's doing you any good, if it's doing you any good at all? Because Western medicine made me sick, and alternative medicine and other modalities have made me well. I don't think anybody would look at me now and think that I was as close to dying as I was, but it's been a journey, and I'm so glad I found you all, because it's just been night and day.
Thank you so much, Ladonna. Everything that you have shared, it touched my heart. So I'm really also happy to have been helping you. And I know you will continue having great health when you continue implementing it.
3 days went by that I didn't take my thyroid medicine. I mean, usually I wouldn't be able to miss it for 1 day, because I start getting an interesting, almost like my body feels hollow. It's a sort of indescribable feeling. But I told him I had the levothyroxine, which I did take, but my NP thyroid, I still hadn't refilled. And in 3 days' time, I never had any symptoms. I said, and I'm sure that's because of the program. So I just thought that was interesting, because obviously my thyroid had kicked in a little more, because it was compensating for the fact that I didn't have my medicine.
Yes, we actually had clients who were able to lower their thyroid medications even within days in the program, because their thyroid function improved.
Thank you. It's been quite an experience, and I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad that you were here, and it was a pleasure helping you. And I'm really happy by your progress. It's been really great progress in a short amount of time. So please continue doing everything that you learned.